How much money have you lost hiring and managing a sales talent that doesn't perform? Or how much will you lose if you don't get it right? Small businesses don't have the luxury of getting it wrong very often. I certainly learned the hard way. However, now I get it right almost every time, and I've scaled two multi-million-dollar businesses on the process that I'd like to run you through. Hi, I'm Victoria Butt, and I train, coach and mentor people to love selling. I build high-performing teams which all lift up to 25% in terms of capability. This yields pure profit without expensive hiring or additional headcount. Evolve Sales Training has a business with two arms. The first is on-demand masterclasses, and the second is bespoke tailored consulting. This is a mini masterclass, and we also have a masterclass on our website and Masterclass Plus. All of our masterclasses are for different levels of sales professionals, whether you're an entry level or whether you're an experienced sales professional or a business owner looking to build high-performing sales teams. So hiring and keeping great sales talent can be done in 4 different stages. The first stage is to find as many suitable candidates as you can so that you can have a choice. The second is to screen them to ensure that you are not hiring any phantom salespeople or people that perhaps aren't as good as what they say they are in the interview. Thirdly, you must onboard and incentivize for success using appropriate KPIs and metrics. And the final is to put an incentive plan in place for great performers to join you and stay with you. We will be covering the recruitment process today and also the incentive process, so stages 1 and 4. We are going to start with the incentives because if you're not clear on what the incentive package is, you aren't able to attract and retain the right type of sales talent. I do recall one of my first ever sales interviews and asking about the financial incentives and the bonus structure. The interviewer at the time was very vague about that and said they hadn't really thought it out and they would always look after high performers and to trust them. The problem was that and is still today, is high-performing salespeople want to understand that their commissions and bonuses are directly attributed to their high performance. And so, needless to say, I declined the opportunity for a second interview, even though they tried very hard to convince me otherwise. It wasn't a place I wanted to be if it wasn't going to be fully transparent and well thought out. If you hire a person without a really well thought out incentive and bonus package that isn't perfect for your business, industry and P&L, one of 3 things will happen. The first one is they simply won't join you. The salesperson will not decide to come because the commission package is not competitive enough. The second is that they do decide to join you, but they leave you after a short time for a better offer. Or the final one is if you are over generous with your commission package, they decide to join you, but their candidacy and that sales role becomes uncommercial because you've been overly generous and the P&L can't cope with those big bonuses and incentive packages. Highly motivated sales professionals want to know 3 things. The first thing they want to know is how much they can earn and how quickly. The second is how is success measured? And the final one is why the product or service is easy to sell. There's several different types of incentive and bonuses, and we go through these extensively on the Masterclass and Masterclass Plus on the Evolve website. But I want to go through a bit of a teaser today to give you an idea of what you need to have in place before you decide your incentive packages. So the first one is know your numbers. And this is getting really detailed on the average profit line per product and per service. This is also about understanding what's the average cost per seat in your business, as well as what budget you have in line and you can put aside for the next year for the right sales professional. The second is simply what is the market doing and what is the market paying, ensuring you have an incentive package which is in line with market rates, hopefully even better, so that you have a good idea of what the market's paying so that you can explain that to the relevant candidates. It's probably worth noting that everyone is motivated quite differently. So aside from financial incentives, it's important that you understand in terms of what that person is motivated about and for. What is their why? What is their purpose in life? Why do they get out of bed? Because at the point where you do need to really motivate them outside of financial incentives, then you can lean on that information. So to summarize, have your numbers in check and understand what your break-even point, your profit margin is per product, per service, and how much you have to invest in a salesperson. The second is have robust answers to the following 3 questions. How much can I earn and how quickly? How is success measured? And also, why is the product easy to sell? And the final one is pick the right incentive package to ensure that you get a high-performing salesperson who will stay with you. When setting out commissions and bonuses outside of a standard employment contract, it does need to be set up legally and it needs to be set up in line with the Fair Work Act. So please do download our version on Masterclass or Masterclass Plus, which is how to recruit, retain, onboard, and incentivize sales talent. Great sales talent, and not just the ones that interview well, do not just turn up on your doorstep. You have to hunt them down. You have to then date them, and then you have to entice them to join you and to become a high performer for your business. So how do you find great sales talent? So traditional methods such as advertising and using specialist recruiters are still effective. However, increasingly more untraditional techniques are required. Either way, both of them will require a really solid job advert and an attached video about what you and your business do. And you can download our job advert for free here. So let's start with the traditional ways. You can hire and pay for advertising on different job boards. And I always say to people, make sure you're advertising on where you're looking to attract the right type of talent, fish where the fish are. And if you can attach a video to this advertising, it is really powerful. And the second is engaging with specialist recruitment companies. So there's various ways you can do this. However, because there's so many recruitment companies out there, when you do decide on the one specialist company that you are going to really partner with, I would suggest you ask them one of these 3 questions, if not all of them. The first one is, how will you approach this recruitment process and what is your methodology? The second is, tell me about your network in sales and in terms of how you've actually set that network up. And the final one is, what are the challenges that I face as a business owner to getting this role filled promptly and productively? By asking these 3 questions of the specialist recruiter or recruiters, you will get a really good sense of how they will approach your vacancy and hiring for you, what's the extent of their network, and how honest and frank they're going to be about what you've briefed them on, the actual role scope, and how much you're willing to pay for it. I'm suggesting that you invest far more time in untraditional recruitment activities for sales professionals. While on the face of it, they may seem quite time consuming, I assure you, once you start yielding the results, you will be doing them more naturally and time again. I'd also suggest that you approach anyone that you meet in your day-to-day. In any course of your day, you would be interacting with probably between 8 and 20 people, where you can look out for individuals that interact in a way that you like and that perhaps sell to you in different situations. Approaching them, leaving your number and your business card and asking them to call you if they'd like a change of direction is also a really powerful way to finding great sales talent. Also, don't be shy to use business communications for what sort of vacancies and roles that you're looking for. There's no reason why you can't have regular communications with the vacancies that are currently at your business. I mean, who better else to refer people on to who are your clients and people that know you, trust you, and like you? Don't forget to download the Sales Professional Job Advert. It has an amazing structure that you can follow, and it has been written in a way that will entice far more candidates than a traditional job advert. So you're at the point where you've got choice of great candidates for your sales role, and you want to screen them and vet them to make sure that you're investing in the right person that will be a high performer and that will also stay with you. The first thing I would suggest that you do is interview them thoroughly. Make sure you're interviewing for past performance as opposed to past experience, and get super detailed when it comes to what their performance was and in what circumstances. The second is assess them. There's nothing better than putting some science behind your recruitment decision, whether it's a sales-based assessment that you use or a psychometric assessment. Either way, understand what the person is like outside of a job interview. The third is peer review them. There's nothing better than having their peers and junior managers interview a new sales consultant, because if they are on board with them, then you've got a better chance for them to be successful because they will have the internal support from their team. And the final one is ensure you ask them 2 to 3 challenging questions about the challenges that your current sales team face. If you get some new and fresh ideas from what type of challenges your industry face, that can always be a good thing if you don't end up hiring them also. This is the mini masterclass for hiring and retaining high-performing sales talent. If you want more information from our full masterclass and our Masterclass Plus, please visit the Evolve Sales Training website. To summarise this mini masterclass, the first thing is get your incentive package right and make sure you do that before you start hiring a sales professional. The second is use increasingly untraditional methods of hiring sales talent, and don't just focus on traditional methods such as advertising and using specialist recruiters. And the final one is, when you are interviewing sales talent, always interview for previous performance as opposed to previous experience.